Hello, my friend, and welcome back, or welcome to Something for Everybody. My name is Aaron Machbitz, and today is a solo episode of the podcast, and I'm discussing 9 habits that we should really become addicted to in the back half of 2024 so we can jump into 2025 with the best version of ourselves, the best habits that we can have, and the most momentum going into the back half of the year and the beginning of the new year. Because we are, a little more than halfway through 2024, which is wild, and let's have a great second half. Let's have a really good second half by dialing in some of these habits. Now I'm going to present 9 habits. I encourage you to pick 1 or 2, maybe 2 max. 1 at first to really dial in on, make that habit too small to fail, make it tiny, build it up from there, celebrate immediately and intensely when you do that habit, and then build from there. If you try to do all 9 at once, more than likely you're gonna fall short and you're gonna belittle yourself, you're going to shame yourself. We don't want to do that. We want to build these habits over the long run. That's why I say let's give ourselves the next 6 months so we can step into 2025 the best we've been feeling, with the best version of ourselves, with the habits that really drive us, that really motivate us, that really give us the best chance to have the best days over and over and over and over and over again. So I'm going to present 9, find 1 that really sticks out to you and nail it. Nail it. Habits too small to fail, and then build from there. Then anchor those habits onto each other and then build until you find that habit stack that's perfect for you, that allows you to wake up energized, refreshed, and ready to go each and every day as you try to become the best version of you. And so, number 1 is waking up at 5 a.m. or more specifically, waking up early. Now, I know if you have kids and all these other things that happen, that's very challenging. But I'm more specifically speaking to men like ages 16 to 28. Wake up early. Waking up early means you're ahead of everyone else. Waking up early gives you more time to work out, plan for your day, work on your business, be more productive. It's a huge life hack and gives you more time to achieve whatever targets that you've set for yourself. Think of Jocko Willink, Alex Hormozy. I'm sure if the men or the young men that are listening to this or watching this, or anyone listening to this or watching this, that's what they preach. Now, it's not about waking up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. It's not about never getting any sleep. That's not the idea. We're also thinking about our PM routine, which is our nighttime routine. Always getting enough sleep, 7 to 9 hours is ultimate. But waking up early to get your day started, to get your things rolling. Now, for you, early could be 5 a.m., could be 6 a.m., could be 6:30, could be 7 a.m. Just depends on how your body works. But you want to make that as structured and as consistent as possible. But waking up early is a habit that we want to adopt, because it allows us to get going on the day and allows us to interject some of these other things. Maybe if you do have kids, you wake up 20 minutes or 30 minutes before they do, so you can get yourself situated for the day. You can meditate, you can journal, you can do all these practices that allow you to show up as the best parent possible. Or you're a young man and you're trying to develop resources and skills to better your life, to attract the right partner, or to build a life that you want, and you have a normal 9-to-5 job and you want to build something else on the side, or you want to become an entrepreneur. Well, waking up early allows you to dive into that a little bit early and after work, or you want to have a workout routine, or you want to join a run club, or any of these things. It all requires working out early. So let's make waking up early. So let's make it a habit now, and so we can be as consistent as possible with it heading into the second half of 2024 and more specifically into 2025. So that's number 1. If you need any more motivation or encouragement on that one, again, follow Jocko Willink or Alex Hormozy or David Goggins or any of these people. I subscribe to a lot of their stuff, but if you don't want to hear it from me, go listen to them. But we're all talking about the same thing. Number 2, writing down your thoughts before bed. This is huge. Writing before bed will improve your quality of sleep because it's a forcing function, right? It gets what you have inside of your brain onto a sheet of paper. It allows you to actually release some of those thoughts that may cause the overthinking or the anxiety or the overwhelm, especially right before you go to bed or as you lay down. And so here's what you can write down. Your targets for tomorrow. like your most important targets. What's most important for me to hit tomorrow? This is what I need and must get done. Great. You can always, always, always write down what you're grateful for. But another thing that I would add on top of gratitude is optimism. Optimism, you can just write down some amazing things throughout the day. So it forces you to look for the good throughout the day. You're hunting the good stuff. You're being a researcher of the good. Not only are you aware of the things that you're grateful for, wow, amazing, appreciate the life that we have. We take it as granted, not for granted, but I'm also scanning and being aware of the good stuff, of the amazing moments throughout my day. And then I'm writing those down before bed. So I could be writing down my targets. I could be writing down gratitude. I could be writing down optimism. But I also, like I said, I also want to get some of those negative thoughts down onto my sheet of paper. We all have negative thoughts. They come and go. We all get overwhelmed. We all get anxious, right? Maybe a lot of us right specifically as we're going to bed, we start to overthink about everything throughout the day or potential scenarios that might happen tomorrow, and we have trouble falling asleep. So then the forcing function comes in to get those thoughts out of your head onto a sheet of paper. You can see them clearly on that sheet of paper, and you can, You can dissect, there we go, each one and ask yourself, is it true? Is this real? Is this going to happen? Can I let it go? What do I have control over? Some of those more powerful questions that give you more agency over what you might be thinking. And so writing down your thoughts before bed or in the morning or just any time throughout the day will dramatically improve your mental health. And we have to prioritize our mental health. It's extremely important for the fabric of our lives, for the texture of our mind, and just for our overall well-being sense. And so spend some time thinking about that and maybe implement a journaling practice into your life. Number 3, spend 1 hour a day moving your body, exercising, whatever you want to call it. But there is no other option than to move your body. You don't have another option. You don't. Your body will deteriorate and you will die sooner if you are not actively moving your body. Now, I really encourage at least 2 to 3 days of lifting weights, things that are heavier to increase bone density, lung capacity, muscle mass, all of these things that deteriorate as we get older. But if that's not your jam, great. Whatever, right? But you have to pick something. Running, swimming, lifting weights, rock climbing, jujitsu, yoga, Zumba, bike riding, whatever it is, you have to move your body. Now, this 1 hour a day doesn't have to be right when you wake up 1 hour. It can be like a really good idea is 10-minute chunks throughout the day. Maybe you're doing 6 10-minute chunks throughout the day. That also breaks up your day so you're not being sedentary for too long, right? It also gets you moving, small bursts of energy. So maybe you're doing a 10-minute walk. Maybe you're doing a 10-minute ab exercises. Maybe you're just doing 10 minutes of Zumba. Maybe you're doing 10 minutes of yoga. Maybe you're just, bopping around your house for 10 minutes, moving around, jamming to some music, moving your body, getting that blood flow going, just moving your body and honoring this vessel that we have in the most powerful way possible. And so to have good mental health, you have to prioritize your physical health because everything works bidirectionally. We have one system. Physical and mental aren't separate. They're one whole being, and that whole being is you. And if we can prioritize the physical, it'll help the mental. If we prioritize the mental, it helps the physical. I mean, you just looked at into journaling. Like journaling, you seem as like a very mental exercise, but it helps your physical because it allows you to reduce overthinking. Reduce overthinking allows you to sleep better. Sleeping better helps your physical health, helps everything recover a bit more than if you got, not as good as quality of sleep. And then we're thinking about exercising. Well, exercising can only be for my physical health. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Exercise is one of the main things I do for my mental health, for clarity of mind, for anchoring myself into the present moment, for all these sorts of things. And you have to have a movement routine. There is no other option. You cannot choose to not do it. Well, I guess you can technically, but if you do choose to not do it, your quality of life will diminish, the way you feel will diminish, and you will die sooner if you don't do it. So spend 1 hour a day moving your body, exercising, doing whatever it is, shoot for 8 to 10,000 steps, shoot for some lifting of the weights, try to vary it up, do things in a community with your friends in the morning, in the afternoon, the middle of the day. All these sorts of things are available because if you don't make time for it, eventually you're going to be forced to, and might as well start prioritizing it now to have overall wellness that's important to us. Number 4. Number 4, after I get a quick drink. Number 4, sit in silence for 10 minutes a day. Now, 10 minutes a day is a long time for those that have never meditated or never done breathing exercises. So start with, 3 breaths. I'm going to take 3 deep breaths. We can do it even right now. Let's do one more. Let's do one more to really anchor into the present moment. So again, start there. Start tiny, start small, start too small to fail, right? But you have to be able to sit in silence for a little bit throughout the day and just solely focus on your breath, right? Because your mind is racing with hundreds of thoughts every minute. So the 10 minutes you take, the 3 breaths you take for sitting in silence, for practicing mindfulness, to give your mind a break, to lock yourself into the present moment, to be where your feet are, right? This is still an underrated habit for our mental health, even though the science behind it is very, very clear. We have to be able to lock back into the present moment with our breath, using our anchor, our breath as our best friend, be able to practice that mindfulness, that awareness, acceptance, action. We have to be able to sit in silence with our own thoughts, only focusing on the inhale and the exhale. And we have to be able to give our mind a break, to let those thoughts just come and go and fall kind of like a snow globe. I do a meditation every single month. Every single month, there's a new meditation that I release. So please check those out. If you want early releases for those, they're available early on my Patreon on the first Monday of every month. You get early releases for those. And the first half of the episode is never released publicly. So if you're interested in checking out those exclusive episodes of Something for Everybody, head over to my Patreon, which is linked in the show notes below. But we have to be able to sit in silence. We have to be able to use our breath as our best friend. And we have to be able to get back into the present moment and have a practice and a tool that helps ease our thoughts, unhook ourselves from our thoughts, and get us into the present moment. Because if we live in the past, we die in the present. Number 5, a few more. Create a proper sleep schedule. Create a proper sleep schedule. This is absolutely massive. Create a proper and consistent sleep schedule. Sleep is essential for performance, mental health, reducing stress, recovery, improving your mood, digestion, overall health, longevity. All of these things are essential. And sleep is one of the things that's the biggest impactor of all of those. So we have to create a proper sleep schedule. And a good night of sleep starts the day before, with how we wake up in the morning, with how we go to bed at night, with how we have a shutdown ritual, with what we do with our food intake, with how we exercise throughout the day, with the relationships we had, with the energy that we think about. All of these things impact how we sleep. And so you want to do this for deep quality sleep. No screen 2 hours before bed. Try it. No eating 2 hours before bed. Make your room cooler and very dark and use blackout curtains. And then try not to look at your phone immediately when you wake up. Because again, a good night of sleep starts the day before. And so you want to implement some of these habits inside the overall habit. The overall habit is creating a great, consistent, proper sleep schedule to prioritize the quality of your sleep. And then bracketed in that overall habit is some of these smaller habits that you can continue to working on, right? Screen time, eating window, right? Room cooler, blackout curtains, what you do before bed, how you wind down, some of these things, you're journaling, you're meditating, how are you implementing that to help ease your mind and slowly shut yourself down before you get into bed. So all of these larger habits have sub-habits. And so that's what we're focusing on, just these little minor things, one at a time, too small to fail, celebrating immediately and intensely when we do these tiny little habits, and then stacking those wins over and over and over again to see where we can be maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months from now, once we've really dialed in all of these habits. Now, number 6 falls in line with sort of exercise, but I think it's also an added benefit if we think about it in this way as well. So number 6 is take a 30-minute walk in nature. This can be part of your exercise routine, but nature is proven to help you get rid of anxiety, increase happiness, and improve mood. It is one of the best hacks for improving your day. You're just outside in nature, breathing fresh air. And the reason I love walking outside is because you can stack a bunch of things together, right? Try to avoid bringing your headphones and your phone on this walk and just breathe. Just actively think about your breath as you're walking. And then you're placing in some appreciation, some love, sending out good vibes, like thinking about the great stuff in your life, just honestly trying to stack a bunch of these habits together of journaling, of gratitude, of optimism, of breathing, of exercising, of being in nature, all in this one, 10 to 30 minute window that you've decided to prioritize yourself and this habit, right? Because self-care is a commitment to our future self. And that's really what we're doing when we decide to prioritize these habits and become addicted to these habits and building out this habit stack that creates the best, most energized, most fulfilled version of ourselves. That's what we're trying to do. And so the 30-minute walk in nature, again, is proven by science and has the ability to stack all these other habits in it in a 30-minute window where you can just be very efficient with how you get some of these things done and how you breathe and how you reset yourself and how you recenter yourself and how you think about all the things that you appreciate in this world. And then you walk back into your house maybe for another set of work or with your kids, or you're about to go do something else, and you feel refreshed, you feel energized, you feel ready to take on whatever's about to happen because you made yourself and this habit a priority. Number 7, read. Try to read every day, whether it's on your tablet, a Substack, a book you're reading. Reading is extremely important. Now, this is something I definitely need to prioritize. I like to listen to my books on Audible, but there's a ton of books that I have that I really want to read. And if you're interested in the books that I have read that have been very impactful for me, you can go to everybodyspod.com, and there's a tab of my reading list of all the books that I've found really insightful. But I've switched over to Audible for a lot of my stuff because I like to listen to books in the gym or on car rides or all these sorts of things. But this is one that I need to prioritize. I need to actually read stuff. So I got a Substack. I subscribe to some of the authors on there that I find very interesting. And I'm going to start reading those mini articles to get some more deep insights to share on this podcast. Yeah, that's really why I read, to share, to learn, to grow, to understand things better, stuff that I just completely don't understand or want to learn more about. I'm trying to grasp that information, and then I'm hopefully share it with you guys here, or get some of those people on the pod who can explain their insights better than I can after just reading that. So I would encourage you to read or listen to podcasts, or just spend some time every day trying to learn new things. But reading will definitely strengthen your mind. So will listening to podcasts, so will listening to Audible. But there's just something about the physical idea of reading that is extremely powerful, right? It will allow you to increase your focus. It will increase your knowledge. It will increase your self-confidence. Any sort of time you can allocate to reading or listening to a podcast, or just allocating any sort of time to learning something new, to keep your curiosity up, to keep the ideas that there's so many ideas out there that we don't know, so many different perspectives, and let's remain curious and seek first to understand rather than judge. And there's just so many different perspectives that are so cool and interesting, and might as well dive into just a few of those things each and every day to allow ourselves to have a broader perspective and a deeper understanding of people and potentially the world. And I think that's really cool. And last one that's, two more. Something that's really important for our overall health, but sometimes I think we forget. Drink water with every meal, or really just like stay hydrated throughout the day, because staying hydrated can be hard. Sometimes, we just forget, but water is essential for literally our life. Water is essential for the mind, for health, recovery. So try to drink water throughout the day, a glass with every meal. Try to chug some water right when you wake up in the morning to get your fluids going and to sort of reset your system. Like, just try and have a water bottle with you throughout the day, something that you can carry, put some stickers on it, make it unique, make it yours. Or if you're at home all day, try to have that glass of water with every single meal that you eat, and just remind yourself that water is hydration. Our body needs water to function properly, and we might as well fuel it to the absolute best of our ability. So not much to say about that, but freaking drink some water and touch some grass. Like, two essential things that we can do super easily throughout the day that will help us live better lives. Drink some water, eat some grass, not eat some grass. I mean, maybe eat some grass if you're feeling it, but like 3 things really we can do like that. It can be the cornerstone of our health is drink some water, touch some grass, and go for a walk. Like, those will solve majority of your problems and the way you feel if you just drink some water, touch some grass, and go for a walk. Allow yourself to clear it, reset, and refocus on what you have moving forward. And then the last thing is something I already touched on a little bit, but let's hammer it home a little bit because I think it's extremely valuable and it can be extremely important for just your overall life and your life satisfaction. But, taking anywhere between 10 and 30 minutes a day to try and learn a new skill online, with tons of stuff happening with the economy, rising inflation, taxes, like maybe this online skill can save you financially. And maybe not a financial thing, but maybe it just keeps you growing and keeps you evolving, and it keeps your curiosities. Like, there's just something that you really want to learn about. So you sign up for an online class to learn about it. Maybe you're not trying to monetize it or do anything about it, but you're just super interested in turtles or dolphins or knitting or whatever the case may be. And you're like, I'm gonna take a class about it. That's really cool because there's gonna be other people in that class that are very interested in the same thing as you. And now you can create relationships and you can create community. And there's so much bonding that can be done over just you making the decision that you're going to learn a new skill. And so this can coincide with some of your reading or podcasts or audibles that you're going to implement and take some time to do. But this is just not learning an online skill, whatever that is. It could be coding, YouTube, copywriting, digital marketing, content creation, right? I don't know, Threads account, whatever you want to think that you want to learn. That's awesome. And it's super cool. And don't let that go to waste, that gut feeling that you're like, wow, I find this very intriguing. I mean, that's the whole reason I have this podcast, and the whole reason I invite people on is because I'm intrigued by them. I'm very curious about their story, how they got to their perspective, and what insights they can share. And then I try to synthesize all of those insights into these solo episodes where I have a really good time basically just speaking into a camera, trying to be coherent and really fluid with my words and get better each and every time that I do these episodes. I mean, this is episode 272 of this podcast. We are inching closer to episode 300, which is amazing. So I'm grateful for the support that everyone has shown this show over the last 4 years as we continue to grow, and it's only going to get better with the things that we're trying to do. And so I appreciate the support. If you really want to support, head over to our Patreon, click the link below. But that's what I'm trying to do. I'm curious about how I can get as good as possible at communicating, at conveying the things that I wish to say, at understanding these ideas that could be complex, synthesizing them, and then presenting them to people who just want to get better, who are at the same spot that I was a year ago or 6 months ago, or at the same spot I am now. I'm just a person who's out there doing the work just like you. And I try to make this show a show that I needed when I was a little bit younger. I think a great barometer for content creation is, would you consume your own content? And I absolutely would consume and do consume this podcast because I think it's underviewed and undervalued, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop at any point. I'm in love with doing this thing, and it's a show that I wanted and I needed when I was younger. Maybe in high school, maybe in college, maybe a couple years ago, maybe even now. And so I'm going to keep trying to present this information the best I know how. I didn't think I was going to go on this little tangent, but I did. Here we are. So just a stream of consciousness. That's why I love doing these episodes, because yes, I have my notes in front of me. Yes, I have a theme and where I want to go, which is what we talked about today, which is these 9 habits that we can try and hammer down in the next 6 months so we can go into 2025, in the middle of 2025, crushing it, because we got to give ourselves about 6 to 12 months to try and dial in these habits. And so by, May, June, July of 2025, we're rocking and rolling as the best version of ourselves. But sometimes things just come up and I want to talk about them. And so I absolutely love doing this show. I absolutely love trying to get better each and every time I record an episode, whether that's with a guest or with myself, or, trying to be the absolute best communicator I can be in this podcast, or with my public speaking, or when I'm coaching my teams or my players, or whatever the case may be. And so I appreciate the ability to get better, because if you listen to the 4 lessons from 4 years of podcasting, which is a huge anniversary episode for us, one of my main themes and main lessons is trying to be the best at getting better. That's my only goal. I want full effort equals full victory. I'm trying to remove myself from the results or the downloads or anything like that, even though I just said, right, this show is undervalued, underplayed, and underlistened. That is the truth, but I'm not focused on that. The results are what drive me. Me just trying to get better drives me, and me knowing that I gave my full effort, so it's a full victory no matter what. And I'm just trying to be the best at getting better. So if you have any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, I love them. I'm an athlete. I've been an athlete my whole life. I love feedback. I love criticism. I take it well. And so thank you for tuning in. This is episode 272 of the podcast. I appreciate you, and I'll see everyone next time. Cheers. Thank you very much for tuning into that episode. And if you enjoyed it, click right here for another full-length episode of the podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe. But most importantly, above all else, please take good care of yourselves and others. And I'll see you next time. Lots of love. Cheers.